everybody, it's Michelle, and today we're going to be doing a Punch Art Snowman. I had so much fun with this, I just love it. First of all, we've got our two circles to build our snowman. I've got a 1.5 inch and a 2 inch, and I used my stitched circle dies for that, but you can use punches or whatever you have. I think it would also be cute to do it maybe in ovals. I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll try that another time. And then I've got a couple of branches from my dies also. And of course those are going to be his arms. And you guys may remember I used branches like these as feet for my Punch Art turkey and my Punch Art birdies. And I think it's going to be really fun to be the arms for the snowman. I've got two of these sets that are similar. What you see on the bottom half here is one set. And it's a tree builder set, and these are different kind of cartoony shaped tree tops, and these are supposed to be the tree trunks. And this is the same concept, just on a little bit larger of a scale, and I used this one here from the large one, sort of the smaller size out of the larger set. And for his carrot nose, you guys may remember my Punch Art carrots. And this is one of those same ones that I punched out while doing that project. And it came from a die, and it was my Christmas bells die. And this was the negative space from the inside of the loop on the bow at the top of the bells. And I thought that was really fun to use that as a carrot. So that's what we're going to be using for his carrot nose. A couple of holly leaves, and I just used my little punch for that. I have some holly dies too. Anything you want to use. You could actually make little pine branches if you have a branch punch or something like that. Whatever you want to decorate the top of his hat with. And I just decided to go with the holly. And for his hat, I used a stitched rounded rectangle die. And that was the smallest in my die set for those. That's going to be his hat. We're actually going to turn it this way and end up cutting that bottom brim. And this is an oval to be the brim of his hat. And that came from, this is the Vintage Label, and that's by McGill. And I have that in my Amazon store, and I'll try to include a link for you guys in the description here too. And then I've just got some sticky back rhinestones here for his eyes, and maybe a holly berry on his hat, and a couple of scraps of ribbon that I had in my scrap bin. Even little small pieces like this I don't throw away, because there's always something you can use them for, especially small punch art projects. So I'm going to use those on my snowman today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to build our snowman's head. I want to start with the hat, and I'm just going to take my rounded rectangle, and I'm going to stick one end of that into the oval, the same oval that I used for the brim. And I'm coming in from the bottom of the punch, sticking that through. And I'm just going to try to hold that straight and cut that so that we get that curve on the bottom of his hat. And you can make it as tall or as short as you want his hat to be. That just gives us that curved edge so it'll match up nicely with his brim. And I'm going to use a little bit of my red sticky tape here from Joanne. That's that Miss Sparkle & Company. And I'm just going to take that and kind of curve it around that bottom brim. You may have to try to peel the backer off a little bit, because the backer is so stiff, and I want to be able to manipulate it around that curve. And that's where I'm going to glue a little ribbon trim on his hat. And I didn't want to use hot glue because I was afraid it would be too thick and lumpy and would show through my ribbon. And I didn't want to use art glitter glue or anything that's sort of a wet glue because it would soak through and change the color of my ribbon. So if you guys can see, I just curved that around the edge a little bit. And I'm going to fold everything else to the back. Fold that under the bottom edge. And then everything is nice and neat there. And then I can bend that ribbon around the brim too. And we'll get that nice curve. And then I'm going to cut it off a little bit long because I don't want to cut it off even with the side. I want to wrap it around so that it gives a nice clean finished look. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more of that sticky tape on there. That way it'll help hold our ribbon down on that back side and be a nice strong adhesive to hold that to the top part of his hat. And look what a nice little top hat for our snowman. I think that's so cute. And now I can use my art glitter glue for the rest of this, I think. And I'm just going to put his holly on there. And those are tiny little punches, but even they are pretty large on this tiny little hat. And I'm going to come in with my fine liner pen, and I'll have to do a separate video on these for you guys later on. I really like these pens. I'm just going to come along the design of the punch here and just accentuate some of those lines to make it look a little more holly-like. So you can see I just barely drew in those lines a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the holly leaves as well. And you guys have seen me use the Wink of Stella shimmer pen before. And this is just like that, but it's made by Nuvo. It's called the Nuvo Aqua Shimmer Pen. And that's the glitter gloss, which is just the clear. And now I'm going to add a little gemstone. I think I'm going to use this middle size here. I'm going to put a little bit of art glitter glue down just to make sure it holds really well. And take that middle size rhinestone and put that right on there. And the cool thing with doing punch art with dies actually instead of punches is that you can do it in any size you want. If you were using your larger sizes of these dies, you could do a large snowman for your scrapbook layout or something like that. And I think if I had a larger hat, I would probably fit more than one of the rhinestones on there. But I think that's cute on this little small one here. And now we can just put his hat on top of his head. I'm just going to come around the inside here on that bottom rim. And I want his hat to sit a little bit offset on his head. I think that's really cute. Okay, and now I'm going to put some black adhesive back rhinestones for his eyes. And I like these because I think they look like coal, and I think it's really cute. You don't have to use these. You could just do little punched out circles if you want it to be completely punch art. But I think it's really cute to use these. I'm trying to get everything placed just how I want it before I press it down too much. Let's see. And then just press those rhinestones down for the eyes and put a little bit of art glitter glue on for his nose. I think that is so cute. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is a scarf. And I just had this one piece of this ribbon left. It's a green, grosgrain ribbon with red stitching around the edge. And I've got about 5 inches of it here, but I think we can make it work and get an entire scarf out of that. So I'm going to bring in my tape again. And I'm going to curve it around. Once I get it stuck in one spot, I'm going to peel that up so I can maneuver that around again. Okay. And fold that to the back. So I can take this ribbon, and I'm starting with just the end. And I'm going to curve that around so that it's shaped like his neck. And cut it very close so that I've just barely got enough to fold around that edge. And then that's going to be the part that's around his neck. Maybe bring this up a little bit. Let it stick out a little farther past that circle there. And then I'm going to take this piece and fold it in half. And I'm going to use glue dots to hold that on, because the glue dots hold very strong, and when you have something thick like that, glue dots are a really good choice. So I'm going to kind of fold it the way I want that to be there and try to get that to where it goes over both pieces of ribbon. That'll kind of help hold it into that folded shape for me. And then see where that's going to be. And then cut the other edge nice and clean. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of art glitter glue on the tip of my finger. To rub across that right there to keep it from fraying. And that'll dry clear. And I'm going to use another glue dot because we're going to be gluing his head to this ribbon here. So I want that to hold nice and strong. How cute. I think it's really coming together. Okay, so we're just going to place his arms the way we want them. Raise that up while it's still in place. Put a little bit of that art glitter glue and just lay that down right in place. Same thing over here for his other one. See if I can do this left-handed. And press that right down. I think he is so cute. Now, I might want to add some buttons. I think I do want to add some buttons. I'm going to use the small rhinestones for little buttons. And I'm going to kind of make them go in a curve so that it curves around like his round belly. And then press those down, and that is it. You can decorate your snowman up any way you want. You could add real buttons if you wanted to, especially if you're doing a larger one for a scrapbook page. I think that would be so fun. But I think he turned out so cute. I just love this little guy. So you guys be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of my Punch Art Snowman. I think he's just adorable and I had so much fun. I can't wait to make a larger one for a scrapbook page. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a like over on my Facebook page, and be sure to join our Facebook group Crafty Minds. Also follow me on Pinterest and Instagram, and don't forget to visit my blog. I'll have the links to everything in the description below, so be sure and check them out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.